Hey, this is Ben at Bob Marriotts Fly Fishing Store, and I'm the local saltwater fly fishing specialist. And today I'm going to teach you how to tie a fly that works good for the bays and the surf. We call it worm Dango. All right, let's get started. So the hook I'm using today is a 25-46 size 2 Daiichi. You can also use a size 4 or a 6 depending on the size that you want to use. And for the eyes that I'm using the Brass Eyes Large in the black nickel by Hairline. So your first move, we're going to get the eyes on there. You can get it pretty close to the eye of the hook, because nothing's going to go ahead of that besides the thread. You can adjust. Wrap it all the way back. Don't forget to put a little super glue on the eyes. And we're going to let that dry for a second.
Okay.
Alright, now I'm going to show you guys how to make the tail. It's actually used with a furling technique with a dubbing loop, which is really helpful with a dubbing loop spinner with a bearing. Today I'm using the one by Stonefo. It's called the Roto Dubbing 2. Dynaking makes one, CNF makes one, and Stonefo actually makes a different type. But as long as it's got a bearing and both of these movable wires, that's the one you want. So the first move is we're going to hook the thread about yay long. Then we're going to come back and do a second wrap to make it a little more durable. We're going to tie that off. And then we're going to go ahead and wrap all the way to the front. Then we're going to go ahead and do a little whip finish to keep it in place. We bring our bobbin cradle over and hang it there. Now the important part about this is stacking up your dubbings. So I've already kind of separated it. First color I'm using is the Ice Dub Olive Brown. Go ahead and slide that in there. Then I'm going to create a little hot spot, and that's the UV Dub Red. Slide that guy in there. And then next, I'm going to use the UV Dub Brown. Kind of looks like purple, but they call it brown. Slide that in there. And at this point, kind of adjust your dubbing so it's about even. And this is where the dubbing spinner really helps. And so, furl up that tail, all you do is start spinning. And once you get to a certain point, you want to kind of pluck some of that stuff out. Leave that hot spot, don't pluck any out of that one yet. I'm going to pull it back a little bit. Continue spinning a little bit so it's a little tighter. And on the hot spot, you kind of want to encourage that out so it's a little bit of wisp coming out there. Once you get to this point, you want to go ahead and let it furl back onto itself. So you want to go ahead and twist it until it makes a nice little tail like so. And at this point, come back, take our bobbin off the cradle, wrap it back, hold that tail down, get it on the other side. Go ahead and cinch that down, wrap forward, and we'll come back turn that off. So now, finished wrapping it a little bit. And here we're going to want to use some sort of a dubbing brush. I prefer the stainless steel Ripper dubbing brush by Hairline. Pretty much looks like just a metal toothbrush. And then you just kind of want to brush out that tail. Give it a little personality. Then we're going to go ahead Make another dubbing loop, about yay long. And we're going to go ahead and do another half hitch or two. Put that back on our dubbing cradle. And then we're going to use some Ice Dub UV Dark Olive, which kind of looks like blue. And you can vary these colors too, it doesn't have to be exact. Any kind of ice dub or flashy dub works well. Slide our dub up in there. And go ahead and give it another little spin. And this is where the rotary vise comes in handy, because instead of having to wrap it all the way around after I did that half hitch, all I need to do is just start wrapping that forward. About here. Come back with our thread. Finish it off. Alright, so now we're going to tie in the schlappen. What I like to do is kind of pull it back a little bit before you start. Tying the tip there. Pull that back. Go ahead and wrap it forward, and as you're wrapping it, continue to pull that back. About like that. Finished off with a few wraps. Pull everything back, lock it down, give it a little trim. Now we're ready to finish up the fly. Alright, now we're going to finish the fly off with a little hot spot. Going to use that UV dub red one more time. This one you don't necessarily need a dubbing loop, but you could use one if you wanted to, but I'm just going to dub this one on by hand. Take a little bit, spin it on up there. You can do a few wraps, create that hot spot, and feel free to wrap over that dubbing again, kind of lock it down better. And now I'm just going to go ahead and finish that off. With any kind of whip finish tool or a half hitch, or you can do it by fingers. And do 2-3 turn whip finishes. Go ahead and cut it off. And I like to take that dubbing brush one more time and kind of fluff up those red fibers. And then finish it off with a little super glue for durability. And there you have it. Worm Dango. Good for the surf and the bays. If you're interested in tying this fly, come see us at Bob Marriott's Fly Fishing Store. We have all the materials and the advice. We also have some great surf flies, other knowledge. You can also visit us on our website at bobmarriottsflyfishingstore.com. You can order materials there. Give us a call, 800-535-6633, and we'll talk to you soon.